My name is Ryan Ashlock, and I did my presentation on the immigration issues in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Haiti and Dominican Republic share the island of Hispaniola and a 186-mile-long border. During pre-colonial times, the island was geographically uniform and inhabited by the indigenous Taino Indians. Eventually, France took control of the western one-third of the island, and the Spanish took control of the eastern two-thirds. The two countries had a similar GDP in 1960, but by 2005, the Dominican GDP had tripled, whereas Haiti's had halved. In September 26, 2013, the Constitutional Court of the Dominican Republic passed a law requiring the deportation and stripping of citizenship to anyone who is born in the Dominican Republic of parents without legal status. This immigration crisis is a result of economic and environmental factors heightened by a strong racial prejudice called anti-Haitianismo. During the colonial times, the French side of the island was much more productive economically than the Spanish, but after Haitian Revolution and a history of political instability, Haiti has not provided an atmosphere conducive for growth, and now Haiti is considered the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. In his book Collapse, Jerry Diamond says that historically the Dominican Republic has been much more receptive to European immigration, and many of these people have contributed and invested in the country's development, unlike Haiti, whose constitution was written in 1804 has prohibited this. In order to escape poverty, many of the Haitians have crossed the border in search for better economic conditions. From 1952 to 1986, the Haitian Dominican government sponsored labor contracts in which the Dominican government would pay the Haitian government to recruit thousands of Haitian laborers to harvest sugarcane. Although this was meant to be a seasonal contract, many of the Haitians decided to stay and never returned home. The formal contracts ended in 1986, but certain sectors of the Dominican economy still needed Haitian labor. Dominican agents called buscones, which literally means to search, began to smuggle Haitians across the border to fill the jobs that the Dominicans did not want. In his book Collapse, Jared Diamond provides some insight about the ecological differences in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic receives most of its rain from the east, and thus they have a higher plant growth, and they actually have some of the highest mountains on the island as well. And from those mountains, all the rivers flow into on the Dominican side. And the mountain valley, the Cibao Valley, is actually contains some of the richest soil in the world. In contrast, Haiti is much more drier because the mountains from the Dominican Republic, the high mountains, prohibit the rain from getting there. The soil contains much more limestone and is less fertile. And during the colonial times, Haiti was 7 times more populated than the Dominican Republic, so that contributed to rapid deforestation and loss of soil fertility. This is kind of interesting as well. They also differ in their natural reserve system. The Dominican Republic has 74 national parks, whereas Haiti only has 4. The other issue that has contributed to this is, as I said earlier, anti-Haitianismo, which literally means anti-Haitian. It's a racial prejudice and is a result of a deep animosity between the countries stemming since colonial times. Saha Miranda says that anti-Haitianismo is an ideological package of beliefs that essentializes the differences between Dominicans and Haitians and positions Dominicans as a racial and cultural superior to Haitians. In 1804, Haitian slaves rebelled against the French and became the only successful slave result in history, winning their independence. In 1822, Haiti sent 12,000 troops to occupy the Dominican Republic, and although it was not a violent movement at first, the Dominican nationals began to resent the Haitians being there. On February 27, 1844, a freedom movement called the Trinitarios was successful in declaring their independence from Haiti. And it's interesting that the Dominican Republic is the only country in Latin America that celebrates their independence from an occupying neighboring country other than their colonial, than that of a distant colonial power. No individual has been credited more with the ideology of anti-Haitianismo than the dictator of the Dominican Republic, Rafael Leonidas Trujillo. His grandmother was Haitian, and he actually came from a lower class, but he vehemently denied his past. Among his personal belongings that's on display at the Museum of Dominican History is a small case containing white pancake makeup that he used to lighten his complexion. The idea of this culminated in 1937 when he actually ordered the slaughter of 30,000 Haitians within 11 days. Dominicans refer to this as La Corte, which literally means the cutting, and that's based off the fact that in order to make it look like a peasant uprising, the soldiers used machetes instead of actual bullets. Within about 11 days, there's about estimated 30,000 Haitians were murdered. This event is also referred to as the Parsley Massacre because in order to identify Haitians, soldiers would ask darker complected individuals to pronounce the word parsley, which in Spanish is perejil, which a Creole speaking Haitian would not be able to pronounce correctly. Not much has been done. There's been not a lot of effective policy change on either side. They just seem to keep going back and forth with each other and not finding a way to resolve the situation. This has kind of come to a hilt as this last year as the Dominican Republic started deporting Haitians out of their country who did not have their legal papers. It's actually gotten a little bit better. I was actually down there 2 weeks ago, and they are starting to let the Haitians back in that actually have legal documentation. So that is a little bit encouraging. But thank you for listening to my presentation.